Welcome to my tutorial. I'm going to show you how to create a review game in Kahoot. Okay, so once you get your computer uploaded and everything's on, you're going to find an internet browser. You can choose Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Safari, whichever you prefer. So I'm going to double click on Google Chrome. Alright, so on this home page, I'm going to click on the top URL box and type in my web address, which is www.getkahoot.com, and click enter. Okay, so here is the Kahoot homepage. We are going to go to the top of the page where the orange box is, says sign up for free. So click on that. Alright, so here's where we're going to open our accounts. The first one is, what is your role? So click on the drop-down menu, and you will pick whichever one you are. I'm a teacher, so I'm going to click on that. Underneath there, I have to type in my school name. So it's 9th grade campus. Okay. And number 2, we have to come up with a username. So let's figure out a username. Okay, and then the next one down, you've got to put in your email. Okay, below that, you need to confirm that email. Okay, and in the last box, you need a password. Okay. Once you get all your information in, scroll down. You'll see a purple box that says Create Account. So let's do that. Okay, so here is your personal Kahoot page, where you will find all of your Kahoots that you make. So the first thing we're going to do down here at the bottom is where you can choose between a quiz, a discussion question, or a survey. So we're going to do a quiz. So click on the question mark. Alright, so this takes us to the description page. So first thing we do, we need a title for our quiz. So let's do Health Chapter 1. Okay, so that is my title. In the description box, let's just type in something that describes what you're doing. Review Chapter 1. Okay. To the right, you can add an image. So you can put a picture, so your quiz will have a picture attached to it. Maybe you've got a picture of your textbook or something you want to put on there. Alright, so next, drop-down menu, it says visible to. Alright, so you can change it to only me, which means you're the only one that can see this game. Or you can keep it on everyone, and that means it will be public, so other people can use it. I like to share because I borrow other people's things too. Alright, language. If you're in a different language other than English, you'll change it here. Audience. So you're going to pick whoever's going to be using this. So we are at a school. Okay, this next box is where you can put any sources that you want to cite. Okay, if you've used some information from somewhere. And then the last box is where you can copy and paste a YouTube video. So it will play the music and the video while the students are signing up. Okay. Makes it very entertaining. Okay, when you're done with your description page, come up to the top and click on OK, Go. Alright, we're not going to add an image, so maybe later. Okay, so here is where we're going to add our questions. So the first one, we're going to click on the plus sign, add a question. Right, this is question number 1. Right, so in the box, question, it is Alright, so type in your question. You've got a limit on how many characters you can have. Below that, you can set a time limit that they have to answer the question. So if you've got students that maybe need a little bit longer, you can change it. If you've maybe got a class of gifted students, maybe you want to give them less time so they're not just, waiting and they go ahead and get their answers in. All right, award points, you can change it to no. I always keep it on yes. That way it shows me who's on top and who's, getting the most answers right and who may not be. Okay, you can add an image or a video like we did in the description. Below this, you have to have your answers. Now, you're required to put in 2 answers, answer 1 and answer 2. So let's go ahead and type in a wrong answer there. We'll type in another wrong answer there. And I'm going to go ahead and put in an answer number 3, and it's going to be the correct answer. So when you put your correct answer in, you must click the check, which makes it the correct answer, and then the others are incorrect. Okay, so credit resources, you can go ahead and cite some sources again if you need to. Okay, once you have question number 1 with your answers filled out, you can come up here to the next and click on it. Okay, so this gives us an overview of our questions that we have already created. So you may want to go ahead and click on another one because you're not just going to have one question, but we'll do one more. All right, so question number 2. All right, so we got our question number 2 in. So same thing as before, we can change our time limits to faster if we want or longer. Award points, keep it on yes. If I've got a picture that pertains to maybe my question, I can always add that. So answers, let's type in a wrong answer, and then let's do the correct answer. So remember, you must click on the check, and that will be your right answer, and you have to have 2 answers. You do not have to have 3 and 4. That's up to you. Okay? Cite your sources, and then click on next. Okay, so we're back to the overview page. Here's where you can edit your description. You can edit each question by clicking on the little pencils. You can duplicate a question. So if you've got a particular question that students are not they're not getting, you can duplicate it so they have to do it more than once. Okay, sometimes that's a really good idea. Or you can just delete the question. If it's not working, if it's been removed from your test, you can do that. Change your time limits easily right here. Okay, so once we feel like we have everything together, we're going to click on Save. Alright, so here's your finished page. You have 4 options on the finished page. So we can edit our quiz. We can preview the quiz, and it will show us what it looks like and see if you like it. We can play it, or we can share it, and that will give you a code that you can email to other people, share on social media, things like that. Okay. Next, you will click on the green box that says I'm done. Okay, so you're back to your personal Kahoot homepage. All right, so at the top, anytime you log in, you'll have the option of creating a new Kahoot. You can look at your own Kahoots. We have one, and that's the page we're on now. You can go to public Kahoots, and you see there's 8.8 million Kahoots out there. You can type in the search box and see which ones you like, maybe pertains to your subject, and use those. Okay, and so down here below, we've got ones that are created by me, and we have our chapter 1. You can always pick favorites in your public Kahoots, and they will save them right here, so you can go back and use them. And then there's some that other teachers may want to share with you, and that's where they will be located. Okay, so right here in this section where you have your Kahoots listed, if you scroll over it, you can see where you can edit. So that will take you back to that edit page, and you can change things around. You can duplicate the test or the quiz, or you can just delete it altogether. Okay, so we're going to click on play so I can show you what it will look like to set up the game for the students when they're ready. Okay, so once it's loaded, you'll have the option of clicking on Classic, which is a one-on-one. If your students have their own devices, they will either need a cell phone, a tablet, or a laptop. If they do not have their own devices, which many times that happens, you can do team mode, so they'll share them. Okay, so below here, you want to put in your game options. Okay, so your drop-down menu, game options, click on that. First one is randomize order of the questions. I always keep that on because you just want to mix them up. You don't want them to be the same every time. Randomize the order of answers, same thing. That way they're not memorizing where the answer is, they'll know it better. Display the game pin throughout. I keep that on. That way if they get knocked off the game through the Wi-Fi, they can log back on. Okay, minimized instructions to show them. I just leave that off. I don't want them posted the whole time we're playing the game. Automatically move through questions. I keep that on off. I like to change the questions myself once we've completed one, because if many students get the question wrong, that way I can stop the game and we can go over it to make sure they understand. And then require players to rejoin after each Kahoot. So once your game is over, this will require the same amount of people to play the next game. So that way nobody's hiding in the classroom and not really doing their work. Okay, so once we have our options chosen, we will go back up here and click on whichever one we choose. So let's do Classic. So you'll get your phone or laptop out. Okay, so we have our game pin that will be listed up here. And it's always going to be a number. Okay, so students will log on to Kahoot.it. That is the web address that they will put into their devices, Kahoot.it. They will be asked to put their game pin in, and then they'll choose a name. So they can put in something crazy and funny, or they can put in their real names. But Kahoot will list them all down here and the number of players. Okay, once everyone's logged in, you can click Start, and the game will begin. Thank you for watching my tutorial on Kahoot. For more information, go to getkahoot.com.